Buckeyes beat Illinois 34-16. Look, you got the road win. I said I thought this was going to be a four-quarter football game. Turned out it wasn't. Buckeyes controlled the game from a time of possession standpoint. They did give up 16 points, those rat bastards.
My goodness.
But they generated some takeaways and some turnovers, which we said you're going to need in a game like this. They did not beat themselves by turning the football over. And, you know, this game to me can be summed up in one word, and that is unremarkable. And for a road win in the Big Ten, I will take that every single time. Can you even remember anything on offense? I can't. They controlled the ball. They moved things. They were smart. They were efficient. I can't remember one play that was meaningful.
They had one touchdown drive of more than 60 yards. That was it. But you know what?
That's because Illinois was stupid and kept giving them the ball at midfield.
Yeah, well, the defense had to take it from them. I mean, those were some good turnovers.
They're kneeling down before they punt.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, that was a boneheaded mistake. That was one of those where you just say,
you don't kneel.
Yeah, bend. This is college football. This is not the National Football League. That's a place that you're not going to get to if you keep making plays like that, kneel down on the ball when you could punt it and make the Buckeyes have to go 85 or 90 yards, whatever. But you said it, unremarkable game.
And it's good. I'm not saying that's bad.
I know you're not because Illinois had a touchdown late when... Let's call that what it was. That was a garbage touchdown. This is a 34-10 game. This is 3+ touchdowns. You have it in the bag in the fourth quarter on the road, and your offense isn't doing anything outstanding. Credit Illinois' defense, too. They clearly played much, much better football than they did against Indiana. They wanted to keep Ohio State's playmakers underneath.
Should not even be a point of reference.
No, they
are a better team than that.
This was you saw a solid college football defense out there from Illinois.
Yeah.
And they made life difficult for Ohio State's offense. So, hey, guess what? That's why you have that vaunted defense. And we made a thing talking about the turnovers in the week leading up to this game. And actually giving the defense more credit because they hadn't been creating that many turnovers in recent games, but keeping teams to either 3 points, keeping them out of the end zone, not giving up red zone touchdowns. The fact that they were that good without the turnovers here recently, they get 3 of them in this game, and that sets the Buckeye offense up with short fields, and they cash in all 3 of those times.
It's another game where you give up less than 300 total yards, and I'm happy with the defensive performance. I know that Bielema was running his mouth after the game saying, yeah, we should have went tempo. They couldn't do anything with that.
Yeah, I saw it. Then do it, right. Dummy. Then why weren't you doing it?
Because first of all,
it wouldn't have been a difference.
Buckeyes dominated time of possession anyway. Yeah, go ahead. Run tempo. Have your offense out there for 5 minutes. Let's see how that works out for you.
See what happens when Luke Altmaier has a little bit of a rough patch in the middle of the game and misses on a couple of throws because he is human, and he will.
And you brought it up. Late in that game, it's a garbage touchdown. You have that game in hand. You know you're going to win the football game. You're not playing the type of defense you would play the first 3 quarters of the game. You're giving them stuff. Go ahead, run your tempo. Ryan Day will just control the football, not give it back to you.
I thought that Jermaine Matthews and the game that he had, clearly we all saw it with him getting involved in the turnovers. That was exceptional. But to lose Lorenzo Styles, to find out that he wasn't playing in this game, and we shouted him out last week too, and just what a good season he has had so far, and what an incredible move that's been for Lorenzo Styles in his football career to switch to defense, locking down that position as the slot corner and being a very willing hitter and tackler. He had the one play, the mishap against Ohio, where he's trying to tackle the guy for 40 yards or trying to strip the ball instead of just bringing him down and giving up the big play. But what a job. Devin Sanchez playing outside corner. They tried to pick on him a little bit, but he held his own. And Jermaine Matthews, who is a great corner opposite of Davison Igbinosun, really does a nice job moving in to the slot corner.
Is committing pass interference on every single play.
Liability for me.
But
it's the one thing.
That's
the one thing for me to watch.
Joel Klatt said that I actually agree with on the broadcast, which is if you do it all the time, they can't call it every play. That's what he's doing, right?
The first one that they let go, I mean, it's textbook, right? If you have both of your hands on each side of the player's torso, you don't even have to have one of them clenched. They're going to call that. Now, his right hand was clenched. He had a fistful of jersey with the right hand, and his left hand was on the guy's back.
That's incidental.
And they're not calling that. He is a relentless player. There is that. I don't know if you can ever take that out of him, but I don't know what they continue to try to do.
Well, they put oven mitts on the dude in the offseason.
Someone said boxing gloves, make him wear the boxing gloves so he cannot grab and do that. He has to just sort of swat. Keep doing it because you're going to continue to get into some situations where they'll go at him, and he will pick up a key pass interference penalty as we go along.
All right, new AP polls. Buckeyes stay at number 1, 50 first-place votes for them. Miami stays at number 2. They get 13 first-place votes. Indiana all the way up to number 3.
Any case for them at 2? Or is it just simply the competition that Miami's played? You got Florida State. They had South Florida, and they were ranked. Notre Dame.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Indiana's undefeated. They're getting 3 first-place votes. We'll talk about their performance against Oregon coming up. Texas A&M up a spot to 4. Ole Miss won, but looked like crap. Down a spot to 5. Alabama, they played a tight game. They're up 2 spots to 6. Texas Tech and their Rich Booster guy up 2 spots to 7. Oregon down 5 spots to 8. Talk about their win in a second. Win being marquee win on the season. I know we can't play that game where it's like, well, if this happens and this happens and this happens, you suck. But you don't think they thought about that a little bit?
Yeah.
Once they saw what Penn State was, what type of marquee win that is?
Yeah, it's crazy right now. And I know we'll get into it too, but college football this weekend was just off the chain. And I feel like we're saying that every single week.
Tough.
Do you?
It's tough to win consistently.
Well, I mean, you were lamenting. We had a week, maybe it was 3 weeks ago. I don't remember, but you didn't see that many big time matchups on the schedule. Like not a lot of top 25s taking each other on. You might get one of those here and there, but I feel like the consistency across the board. And now the parity that we've got in the game where Indiana's doing something like this.
There's a difference.
We've had some really fun matchups. And then when you put a coach like James Franklin and a team like Penn State and a team like Texas gets back into the polls here when they beat Oklahoma. But you've got the pressure cooker in college football that is just, it knows no bounds.
Conference plays a different animal. You're going to have the haves and have-nots, but, you can still get a decent game. Look, Arkansas has given teams a decent week. They suck. Right? My whole problem is when you have an entire week's worth of Alabama against Colgate and Buckeyes against Grambling the schedule.
Just think when college football moves away from that. Because
when's that going to happen, Timmy?
Don't you think it's got to happen? I mean,
I've been saying that for 10 years.
They want to make more money, and that's going to happen eventually. But when they do, how good is it going to be from start to finish?
Georgia's up a spot to 9. LSU up a spot to 10. The rest of the Big Ten, we have nothing. Oh, no, Nebraska comes in at number 25. Michigan drops out. That's a shame. We'll talk about them and how they gave up 500 yards to USC coming up shortly. As a matter of fact, let's talk about all that next. Indiana, Oregon, Michigan falling, James Franklin getting canned, all of it coming up in 2 minutes. Common Man and Timmy on the Fan.